Hello, everyone. This is the vocabulary science that we did last night at our ASL night at Starbucks. I'm just going to go a few things that we showed and some of the different ways to get a deaf person's attention. The first thing I want to do is talk about hello. there's uh, no there's no wrong way to say hello. So you can do one hand, or you can do two hands. Hello, wave, wave both hands. So you just need to figure out what's best comfortable for you to sign. So you can just practice doing hello, or hello, hi, hi. So as you can see, I go hello. That that's my way to say hi. The next one I showed was my and me. My is also the same as mine, mine, and my, and then I. Name. If you, we go name, name. So you can say my name, and you're gonna finger spell your name. So if you have a name sign, so you would add that when you introduce yourself. So I'm gonna go my name, and then go Preseda, Preseda, and my name sign is Preseda. Um, the other one we did I showed was your name. What? So we can go what's your name or your name what. So this is what and your. Nice to meet you. So we go nice, and we have meet you. So we go nice to meet you. If you have more than one person, you go nice to meet you all. You all. Or if it's just two people, you can do nice to meet you. You can do you two. Or if it's more than two, you can go you all. If it's one person, you go you. Nice to meet you. Or nice to meet the two of you. Or nice to meet you all. Please. We have this for please. Please. Sorry. Sorry. So we go sorry. A lot of people like to do S for sorry to help them remember, you know, S for sorry. But really, we have a thumbs up and we go sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you is one hand. You go thank you. This means good. You're good. So we go thank you. Just one hand. So thank you. Welcome. So there's a few different ways to sign welcome. You're going to see some people sign just welcome, or some people do from shin, we go welcome, or some people do a bow, they go welcome, welcome. So there's a different ways to sign welcome. Um, you're going to say I'm learning, so you're going to open and then close. Learning ASL. It's important that you say you're learning, not know, because if you say I know ASL, a deaf person can go, oh, okay, they just start signing, and you're like, ah! So they will sign their normal speed, so it can be fast. And if you say I'm learning, a deaf person will slow down on their signs, and their fingers spell slower, and they'd be more understanding if you say I'm learning compared to I know. If you know, we're going to be signing not a full speed. Um, so again, so you're going to say I'm learning ASL, or you can say I'm learning sign, You can say, I'm learning sign language. Um, so those are the few different ways you can sign now. So now we're going to go back to know. So you can say, I know sign. Or you can say, I know ASL. This is no. I'm going to go out, mean don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Some people just go no. They just shake their head no. That means don't know too. So you can go don't know or no, or you can go no and then don't know. Don't know. Another one we talked about in this with a small group after I showed a sign is no. You're gonna see some this down here too. No. A good example how we would use this and this. If you're gonna say, I know this, or if your mom tells you, go do your homework, you're like, I know, I know. So it's kind of like something you can see the different meaning behind the no and no. So and some people kind of do the lazy, they go do this, they go, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So it could be up here or on your cheekbone, you know. The other one I showed is what the sign for. So we go the sign, what, and then you finger spell the word. So, for example, what I showed was I said, the sign for ball, what? And so I go in the depth with, oh, ball. So we'll do that. So that's a good way to learn that phrase is, the sign, what, and just finger spell ball. Um, the other one I showed was finger spell. Your finger spell. So we go finger spell. You're just moving your fingers and go back and forth. Finger spell. The other one I showed was excuse me. You're taking your hand and bending it, and you're going to excuse. You go, excuse me. Excuse me, or you can go, excuse me. And that's a good one to learn if you have like two deaf people standing or signing or talking or signing, and you're coming and you're going, should I go around or should I bend down or walk under? So you're like trying to figure out. So it's less distracting if you just sit there, you just walk through it, excuse me, and you just walk through. So it's a good example of how we would use excuse me and just walk through. Don't bend down or anything. When you do that, it's distracting, and then we'll be like looking at each other going, what is this person doing? And we're like, we kind of forget what we were talking about. Like, what we were talking about. If we're just talking to someone, excuse me, we're like, oh, okay. And we just keep talking. So, excuse me is a very important sign I think you should learn. The different ways we talked about getting a deaf person's attention. We talked about, we did the light. We do the light on and off, you turn it on. Like, especially there's like a big convention or a get together with a lot of deaf people, and you will see them through the light, and they're like kind of warn, the deaf people, oh, we're getting started. Everybody kind of sit down and they pay attention. Or like for me, for example, in my household, when I was growing up, we had upstairs and downstairs. So when my parents were upstairs and I was downstairs, I picked the light, the stair light, so my parents see it and they come down. They're like, what? So we use the light a lot. The other one we use, we bang on the table. But we don't bang hard, we just bang lightly. We just feel the vibrations and we kind of get someone's attention. When we're banging really hard, it's more reserved for emergencies. Like you want to bang and you want to get everybody's attention. It's like, there's a fire. So we bang really hard on that. Banging on the floor with your feet, it's kind of the same thing. We do like a simple tap and they'll get the attention. The house that I grew up in the Northwest is that we had the wood floors. So we bang, it vibrates through the whole house. So everybody in that floor can feel it. They always come out of the kitchen to the living room. And we're like, what? So we bang on that. But here in California, we're mostly concrete. So banging on, it's not going to work because it's no vibration feeling on that. So banging on the something, it doesn't really work here in California. But you may see some deaf people do that. So that's one way. The other one is of course, we just wave our hand. The one thing we don't want to do is like throw stuff to get a person's attention. That's considered rude. And so we just kind of wave. And a lot of times you just have to go find that person, just go to them. Now, when we have the Alexa, we can tell her, lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. And then that's another way of doing so they come out. And like in my house, my son likes to listen to music in his bedroom. And so what I do is I open up the Alexa app and I turn the music off. So my son knows. He's like, oh, mom wants me, so he comes instead of me yelling when he can't hear me because he's listening to his music. So that's one way we do it in our house. I think that is pretty much the different ways we can do a deaf person. Oh, I talked about tapping. Shoulders. We don't want to do the finger point or punching. The one thing I tell people, just shoulders, not the front or the back. You want to get the attention on the shoulders. And not finger point or punch, just all your hand tap. If you think about it, if you point, if you hit yourself in certain areas, it can hurt sometimes. But if you use your whole hand to tap, it's just a very gentle, easy feel, and it does not hurt or bother anybody. So just take your hand and just do a gentle tap to get the person's attention. I think that's pretty much all I talked about with that one. The other one that we talked about is asking a deaf person a question. And I always warn them because deaf people are very direct. We tell you what we're thinking and we'll tell you if you ask for an opinion and we are going to give it to you. So I always say, don't ask a question you don't want an honest answer to. So if you're going to ask a deaf person, you're going to get an honest answer. Okay, so just keep that in mind and think about what you're going to say, because there are times where I just start talking. I am very blunt. And I'm like, whoa, I need to think about what I'm going to say first, then speak it. And so that takes some process for me because I grew up in a household where we just speak so much. That's just the way it is. And so when I got into the public school, I had to learn to not do that. Don't speak your mind. Sometimes you can't do that. And so it's a habit that I had to build on. That is pretty much all we talked about last night, and I will see you all next month. Bye.